All right, no. We got to talk about this Christian Kirk contract really quickly. Originally, it was reported to be, understandable, about $17 million a year. 4 years, $68 million was the original number put out there. And now the number being reported is 4 years worth up to $84 million. So I'm assuming there's incentives in there and other things like that that aren't guaranteed money, but it's $21 million a year. That makes him the third highest paid receiver in the NFL, behind guys like Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins. And I can understand Julio Jones is no longer that kind of guy right now because of injuries and age. DeAndre Hopkins missed most of this past year, but you understand those two guys are Hall of Fame players. And now Christian Kirk is getting massive amounts of money. The new tweet just came in from Rapoport saying the deal is going to be about 4 years, $72 million, worth up to $84 million. So incentives and everything's baked in there, of course. This is still awful if you're an NFL team trying to be in the receiver market. I can't imagine what Allen Robinson is going to go for now at this point. Think about the other receivers at that. Michael Gallup was probably wishing he'd waited to sign, because Gallup has had an 1,000-yard season, and Christian Kirk's never done that. So Michael Gallup's probably wishing he waited to sign an extension with Dallas. He signed a 5-year deal, not even worth $70 million. So Gallup out there probably wishing he waited. I think Juju Smith-Schuster's still out there. There's a handful of other receivers out there as well. Maybe not a ton of premier talent. Allen Robinson's probably the best guy who would benefit the most from this. At this point, you have to think, even come out for the terrible year he had, you have to imagine that he's going to get in that $19 million range per year, somewhere in that area. Anything less than that, I'd be like, just point at Christian Kirk's contract. Christian Kirk, a wide receiver 2, getting paid high wide receiver 1 money. And you can also say, Mike Williams, for the Chargers, a wide receiver 2 getting paid $20 million a year. That's also wide receiver 2 money, putting him in elite range. But Mike Williams has proven himself to be more consistent than Christian Kirk. He's had the explosive outings, the explosive runs that Kirk really hasn't had. Kirk has just 4 100-yard games in his career. Mike Williams has had stretches where he's had those kind of performances. He's been a touchdown machine at times. There's a lot more upside to Mike Williams than there is Christian Kirk at this point. Kirk really is not. Kirk's up there. He's an older guy. He's 25. Older guy. He's 25 or 26 years old. He's not old in the long run, but he is an older guy for someone just finishing up his rookie contract. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. This is why I worry about the Jacksonville Jaguars. They make decisions like this. And getting Christian Kirk is good. It helps out Trevor Lawrence. It helps the team out quite a bit. But paying him that much is really going to hamstring you when it comes to signing other players that can be impactful. And they've already spent a ton of money. They've gotten some good players, but they've also overpaid for some players as well. So I am a little bit worried in the long run about these deals coming back to bite the Jaguars over the next 2 or 3 years.